Hello friends of the channel, my name is Rob, this is BigRobsVan, and this is the latest streaming media player from Jataza. Now I have reviewed a few of these types of devices, some of them good, some of them not so good. I gotta tell you, this is one of the favorite ones that I've played with so far. The screen is gigantic on this thing, and not in a bad way. I'm gonna talk about that. So we're gonna run this thing through its paces today. We're gonna hook it up. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to hook up, how easy it is to get everything set up. And in case you didn't know, I'm addicted to Pokemon Go. I can't stop playing Pokemon Go. And so we're gonna use this to get us to where the Pokemon are hiding today. So let's get this thing hooked up in the van, give it a spin, and see how it goes. Now, because this is a promotional item, there are things inside that I can't show you because some of the paperwork has not been finalized yet, but I do want to show you this cool box. So this is the same design that they've used in their other boxes. It's very Apple-centric. If you've seen Apple boxes, this is exactly how it arrives. This thing ships just like that. That lid lifts off, and then you have all this padding in here, and I'll show you what is inside. I just can't show you some of the paperwork that comes with a promotional version. You can see all this styrofoam that's in here, all this padding to keep everything safe. And this is the unit. Now, the reason I said not only is the screen huge, but in a good way, is because what they have done is made it wider, not taller. Now, I did test a unit that was a 9-inch unit, but it was almost a 4x3, so it was really tall. And while that gives you a lot of screen real estate, the problem is it's hard to find a place on your dash to put it that doesn't block your vision. Now, this thing is going to give you more screen real estate this way. You're going to be able to get more apps. You're going to be able to see multiple things at a time, like your navigation plus your other apps and things like that. But it's not so tall that it'll be blocking your vision. So the other things that are in here, we've got, this is a mount that sticks to your dash. That is important. This is instructions, and we've got the normal suction cup mount, so you can attach this to your dash using this. Let me pull that back out just so you see how this works. This is sticky on one side and smooth on the other, so if you have a dash that's bumpy or that a suction cup would not stick to, the suction cup will stick to that. This is also, I do want to point this out, very configurable in almost every direction. We'll show that when we hook that up on the dash. But so you can hook this up to, you can put this on your dash, stick this to your dash and put that there, or turn it upside down, stick it to your windshield. And finally, we have a normal 12-volt power supply. Now, I just finished reviewing one you may have seen that required you to hardwire it to your car. It was pretty difficult to do, to be honest, and it made it impossible to move it in between cars. This is not that way. So not only is this a normal 12-volt adapter that will go into any cigarette lighter adapter, or what they call it, accessory power in cars, but as you can see right here, this is USB-C. So this thing is powered by USB-C, so any USB-C power adapter you can plug right into the side of this. This has the same features that most of them have. You have your aux output, you have a spot here for your SD card, and then you have spots for your cameras. Now, this model that I'm testing did not come with any cameras, but they sell a model that does come with cameras for slightly more, like another $15. And if I were buying one, that's probably the one I would buy. I'd spend the extra 15 bucks to get both a forward and reverse camera. Now, this is the mount. If you want to put this on your dash, this is sticky. I have this from the other model already stuck to the dash, so I don't have to do that. I'm just going to use the same mount. That's another good thing about these. And you'll notice this has like these little prongs on here that just go right into this. So this thing will sit on your dash like this, and then if you want to take it in at night, it just slides up and out, and take this thing with you. Finally, here is an aux cable. Now, you can hook this up to your car stereo through Bluetooth. You can hook it up through an auxiliary cable, or you could use a FM radio transmitter. So there's no excuse as to saying this won't work with your radio, because this will literally work with any radio on Earth. If it has AM or FM or an aux input or Bluetooth, any type of connection this thing will work with. Let's go ahead and get this thing plugged in and get it started. Now, it's important for me to tell you that I have not hooked this up in my car before. So I want to show you how long it takes to get one of these things up and running, especially this model from Jataza. Now, some of them, like I said, they're not all the same. A lot of them look the same, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, they're not all the same. So not that I'm going to count this in our installation time, but we're going to peel off the screen protector. And again, on the side here, you can see that we've got the aux out. We've got a spot for a micro SD card, which comes included. And then you have hookups for the USB-C for battery. And then you have a spot for the rear camera. Again, this model did not come with one, but they sell one, I think I mentioned, for about $15 more. And that's a great value. So if you're looking to invest in one, I might even suggest upgrading from this one. Although for entry level, this one is great. So here's what we're going to do to install it. Go ahead and time this. Let me find where the power button is before we officially start timing things. Okay, so there's a red power button right here on top of the unit. So I've already mounted this. This is a sticker on the bottom. Again, this is the one I used for my other one, but it is the same mount. You can adjust the angle if you need to. So let's go ahead and time installation. Plug in the USB-C. We're going to line that up on the back, press that down like that. And here we are in the setup. You can see that it wants to know if we want this to be in English. In fact, that's what really snaps on. This be this a little bit easier where you can see like this. We'll just hit next. This wants to, is telling us, please confirm that the phone is connected to the car's Bluetooth, and we could do that, or we could say no onboard Bluetooth. But let's just go ahead and set this up. So on this screen, what you can see is that you can select how you want the sound to come out of this unit. This Bluetooth is what goes to my car stereo. This also says this would be the aux cable. This is to use the speakers that are built into that, which I don't normally do, but we may try that. And then there's the FM transmitter. So if you have a super old school stereo that only has AM, FM, and has no other inputs, you can go to FM transmitter and pick what station you want, and it will broadcast to that. I think I'm going to try speaker. I don't normally do that. Here we've got our normal home screen, if you can see that. Here is our volume. We can adjust, or brightness, excuse me. Here's our brightness. Let's turn that up so you can see that. Here is our volume. We're going to turn that up all the way. And then here's our power on and off. So let's get this thing working with CarPlay. So let's go to CarPlay here. This tells you what the Bluetooth name is of this. We're going to go to the phone. We're going to go to my Bluetooth. We're going to find this new connection. It's right there. Let's pair it. Do you want to sync your favorites and things like that? What that does is so that you can do your voice dialing and stuff through there. That's how easy the Bluetooth connection is. And now we are connected. Let's go back to the home screen. So I forgot a step. You have to enable CarPlay on your phone as well. But that's it, right? So, you know, you plug in USB power, you get your mount up here, and you're good to go. CarPlay has been turned on. We can go here to maps. We can see where I am at the lake. We could do music. We can control our music. You can see I was listening to NPR earlier, and again, I had it on the speakers, but here we go. You can see we've got access, and this super wide screen. Look at all this real estate that it gives us. So we've got lots of information that we can see here. We could go. This is, of course, with CarPlay connected. We've got access to all these different apps. These are all apps that I have installed on my phone. And so while I'm driving, you know, if I need to access Google Maps, if I want to listen to my podcasts or NPR, this is a Plex amp. This connects to all my music at home. We've got Amazon Music, all this different stuff, Spotify, of course. Now, this company, Jataza, does not control what apps work through CarPlay. That's controlled by Apple and iOS. So if there's an app like Waze or something like this, or VLC, you know, those are because iOS and Apple allows those to work. So there's lots and lots of apps, but these are just the ones that I have. Again, you've got access to your music. You've got all your dialing. I'll have to blur this out because this is the phone numbers of all my friends and family right here. And then this is back to your apps. If you want to go back to your main screen, you could also close out CarPlay.
Like the vortex that forms when you
Well, there's NPR playing. And notice that we've got two apps on the screen at the same time. We've got my navigation over here, but you can see I've got NPR over here. This is, I'm going to pause that. This is what you get with this 10.5-inch screen. You get so much real estate. One thing that I wanted to show you is the cable that comes with this. So this is, you know, just a normal 12 volt accessory port, cigarette lighter adapter, whatever you call it. This plugs right in, and then you're only have this much cable to get to the unit. Well, this much cable, well, this much cable, well, this much cable, well, this much cable, well, this much cable. And now it's at a knot because there's so much cable. There's so much cable. I'm 6 foot tall. So from here to there is 6 foot. From here to here, this is a 10-foot cable. So you have 10 foot. So you can plug this in, like I've got mine plugged in down here. At the bottom of my dash, I've got the cable running up along the side. It runs around the dash, up the side, down the front of the dash, and all the way to the back of the unit. So lots and lots of cable to hook this thing up. Now listen, there are a million things you could do with this. You could watch videos, you could do all this, but I told you, I'm addicted to Pokemon Go. So I know for a fact that there's a skate park near here. So let's get some directions to the skate park and get over there and catch some Pokemon. Hey, give me directions to the Route 66 park.
Getting directions to Route 66 Park. Starting route to Route 66 Park. Head south on Morgan Road. In 1.2 miles, turn right onto Northwest 23rd Street.
So again, as you can see, we have a lot of screen real estate. Look at the size of that map. I really like that. But it's not too tall. I can easily see over it while I'm driving. And of course, you could put it to the left or to the right.
1 mile, turn right onto Northwest 23rd Street.
And not put it directly in your field of view. And of course, Google Maps or Apple Maps, I'm not actually sure which one this is using, and that's actually kind of an interesting thing. You don't need to know what app to do something. You can just tell it, hey, play me a song, or you know, take me somewhere, and you know, it just uses your phone and it does it. So that's pretty cool. But there are so many different apps. You know, if you're a person who likes using Waze, I have friends that swear by Waze. That, you know, is on here. I have like multiple GPS apps to choose from. But I mean, and this is just literally, we're just talking about the Apple CarPlay stuff. And it makes it so much easier to be able to use the voice commands so you can talk to this thing and not have to be messing around with your phone. Now, there are some things that your phone can do through voice commands, but there's a lot of things that it can't, and this thing can. So that's something that I really like about using these things. Also, I grew up in the era of having a GPS device on your dash, and so if you're like me and you like to actually glance down every now and see that without taking your eyes off the road, these things are really good for that. If you take a lot of road trips, I highly recommend one of these.
Turn right onto Annie Payne Lane, then arrive at your destination.
Notice that the sound is coming from this, not from this. Oh yeah, Big Rob's Poke Van. Well, as you can see, this thing does a pretty good job in CarPlay and using all those apps. Again, I showed all those apps. So those are coming off of my iPhone 15, but it also supports Android. So if you have an Android, you can have the exact same experience. But let me show you, if we drop out of CarPlay and go back in, let's look at some of the other things this can do real quick. If you notice, there's this little white button down here. And if you press this white button, and press home, it will take you out of CarPlay and back to the normal menu. So you can always go back into CarPlay. Again, here's Android Auto. If you had an Android, down here we've got AirPlay, and we've also got Android Cast, which are similar apps for either iOS or Android. Here you've got your audio channel, and this will tell you how you're getting your audio out. Again, we showed that, the Bluetooth, the aux, loudspeaker, or the FM transmitter if you've got a back button. The touchscreen on this is very responsive, very nice. I like this. Some of them feel kind of cheap or laggy. This one doesn't. Finally, you can go here into your settings. This is where you can go and turn screensaver on and off, the sound, do a factory reset, format your SD card, all that stuff. You shouldn't need to go in here very often, but if you do, you've got all that stuff. But this is all the options that you have if you're not going into CarPlay. Some of the other ones I've seen basically just look like an Android tablet, and I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of that I'm using a computer up here. I want this to feel like a very simple device because, you know, in reality, this is something that you're playing with or that you have on while you're driving. So you want this to be as simple as possible. So let's go into AirPlay. This takes a little bit to set up. It's not bad, but we'll go here and it says CarPlay is connected. Please disconnect first. So that'll be the first thing that we have to do. And now it gives us instructions again. We need to go to and all these devices are the same, but for CarPlay uses Bluetooth, but the mirroring stuff always uses Wi-Fi. And so to do that, we'll have to go on our phone. We'll have to go into our Wi-Fi settings, find this device, which is listed right here. You can see that the password here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you can see we are connected on the Wi-Fi. We're connected back here. Now we could go back. Oh, it's so simple.
Be able to find a little bit cheaper as well. Let's talk about this one first. This is a fan I purchased off of Amazon. I will put the link down in the
Now, some people ask if these things show if it lags. Let me show you.
Companies that is purchasing things and then selling them through their Amazon.
I mean, that looks like they are identically in sync to me.
Really important what it is and what it does.
Hey, at least Pokemon works. That's all I need. Oh my gosh, this is going to take me another hour. So you know, some apps seem to work. A lot of the video apps don't work, but YouTube does work. So you can always stream your YouTube stuff. And I think, you know, TikTok, of course, is going to work. You know, a lot of the video ones don't work, but a lot of the apps do. So if you have an app like your news, like I look at my news, right? So that stuff will definitely pull up, you know what I mean? So some apps work, some don't. Again, it's really just on the app. It's not on the device. Turn on mirroring, and then you go right back to your device there. So what's my overall review? I would say this is the best unit of this type that I have reviewed if you don't need forward-facing and reverse cameras. Again, that is an option that you can add for about $15 to $20 more. But if you're just wanting the basics here, you're wanting access to your phone apps, you're wanting voice dialing, you're wanting you know, hands-free stuff and be able to broadcast all of this stuff into your stereo, this is a super cheap and inexpensive way to try this stuff out. So I highly recommend this stuff. And again, I know I've been harping on the screen size, but I love what they've done making the screen super wide and not tall, so you can see over it while you're driving and yet get all that information. So I'm going to use this to go find some more Pokemon. So anyway, give this a check. I've got links down there in the bottom to get this. I think I might have a discount. I don't know, but anyway, I've got some Amazon links. So anyway, check out this new screen device from Jataza. Thumbs up for me. Thanks for watching. Hey Iris, give me directions to the nearest skate park.
Proceed to Andy Payne Lane, then turn right.
This is Fresh Air Weekend. I'm Sam Bricker. Let's get back to Terry's interview.